Millions of years ago, the Earth was a very different place from what we know today. The land was wild and untamed, filled with dense forests, vast plains, and large bodies of water like rivers and seas. Early humans, or our ancestors, lived in this challenging world where every day was a test of survival. They had no modern tools, no technology, and no safe shelters. Instead, they relied on their instincts, sharp senses, and the few simple tools they could make from stones, bones, and wood. These early humans were constantly moving, exploring new areas in search of food, water, and safety. One of the most important movements in human history happened about 30,000 years ago when groups of early humans started to migrate along coastlines and across seas. This was a major change because it showed that humans were not only surviving on land but learning to live near water and even use it to travel. The sea was both a friend and a foe. On one hand, it provided a rich source of food such as fish, shellfish, seaweed, and other marine life, which helped early humans diversify their diets and get important nutrients. On the other hand, the sea was dangerous with unpredictable weather, strong waves, and unknown creatures. Despite these dangers, early humans showed incredible courage and innovation. They developed simple boats or rafts made from wood and other natural materials. These watercraft were basic but enough to help them cross rivers, travel along the coast, and even make short sea voyages. This ability to use water transport opened up new routes of migration, allowing early humans to reach islands in distant land they could never have accessed by walking alone. This migration led to the spread of human populations across different continents, which helped increase genetic diversity and cultural exchange. Along these journeys, early humans adapted to new environments, learning which plants and animals were safe to eat, how to protect themselves from new predators, and how to make fire in different climates. They formed small social groups that worked together for hunting, gathering, and protection. These groups shared knowledge, stories, and skills, which were crucial for survival and passed on through generations. Living near the sea also changed how humans interacted with their environment. They learned about tides, seasonal changes, and weather patterns, which helped them plan their movements and fishing activities better. This understanding of nature's rhythms was an early form of science and observation that laid the groundwork for future discoveries. The development of tools and technology also improved during this period. Early humans made fishing hooks from bones, nets from plant fibers, and simple harpoons to catch fish. They learned to cook seafood over fire, making it easier to digest and safer to eat. These advances in food gathering and preparation supported larger populations and more stable communities. This period was also important for cultural development. People created art by painting on cave walls, carving figures from stone or bone, and making jewelry from shells and teeth. These artistic expressions show us that early humans had a sense of identity, spirituality, and connection to the world around them. Rituals and traditions likely played a role in strengthening social bonds and teaching young members of the group important life skills. Despite facing many challenges such as competition with other animals and humans, harsh weather conditions, and scarcity of food at times, early humans persevered. Their ability to cooperate, share resources, and adapt to changing environments was key to their survival. Over time, these groups grew more complex and developed languages, social structures, and early forms of trade and communication. This long journey from simple survival to cultural richness is a foundation of human history. The story of early humans living by the sea shows us the incredible resilience and creativity of our ancestors. It reminds us that humans have always been explorers and learners, eager to understand and use the world around them to improve their lives. Their migration and survival strategies helped shape the course of human evolution and laid the groundwork for the civilizations that would follow. Today, as we look at the seas and oceans that cover much of our planet, we can remember that these waters were once new frontiers for our ancestors. The same spirit of curiosity, courage, and cooperation that helped them survive continues to inspire us to explore, protect, and appreciate our natural world. As early humans continued their journey along the seas and coasts, their lives became increasingly connected to the water and all that it offered. The sea was no longer just a place to find food. It became a pathway for exploration and discovery, opening doors to new lands and opportunities. These early humans learned how to build better and more reliable boats, using wood, bark, and woven fibers to craft vessels that could carry them farther and safer across open water. With every journey, they gained new skills in navigation, watching the stars, the sun, and the patterns of the waves to find their way. This allowed them to travel beyond familiar shores and settle on islands and distant coastal regions that were rich in resources but previously unreachable. Settling near the sea brought many advantages. Coastal areas offered a variety of food sources: fish, shellfish, sea mammals, and edible plants, which helped support larger and more stable communities. The combination of land and sea resources meant that early humans could rely less on the unpredictable success of hunting large land animals, which could be scarce or dangerous. This abundance encouraged groups to stay in one place longer, giving rise to more complex social structures. People began to organize themselves for better cooperation in fishing, gathering, and sharing resources. This cooperation was essential not only for survival, but also for building trust and stronger social bonds within communities. As humans spent more time near the sea, their technology improved. They made fishing tools like hooks from bones and stone, nets from plant fibers, and harpoons to catch bigger fish and sea mammals. They learned how to process and cook seafood, which provided vital nutrients and energy needed to thrive in their environment. Early humans also began storing surplus food, an important step toward planning and preparing for the future. Their relationship with the sea influenced culture and spirituality as well. The ocean's vastness, power, and mystery inspired stories, art, and rituals. People created paintings and carvings depicting sea creatures, boats, and waves, showing their deep respect and connection to the water. These cultural expressions strengthened group identity and passed knowledge and belief from one generation to the next. Over time, as different groups traveled and settled along various coastal regions, they came into contact with each other more often. This led to sharing of ideas, skills, and genetic diversity, enriching the human experience. The exchange of knowledge about fishing techniques, boat building, and survival strategies helped communities grow stronger and more adaptable. But living by the sea also presented challenges. Storms, rough waters, and rising tides could destroy shelters and food supplies, forcing people to be cautious and resilient. Early humans had to learn how to read weather patterns and move when necessary to protect themselves and their families. Their ability to adapt to these dangers was crucial to their continued success. This period in human history shows an incredible story of innovation, courage, and survival. Early humans transformed from simple land hunters to skilled seafarers and coastal dwellers, mastering new environments and creating rich cultures. Their journey reminds us that humans are naturally curious and resourceful, always eager to explore and learn from the world around them. Today, as we look back on this ancient past, we see the roots of many human qualities: cooperation, creativity, and respect for nature that continue to shape our lives. The sea, once a challenging frontier, became a symbol of human resilience and the endless desire to explore new horizons.